Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order. We will convene as the Board of Supervisors. I need approval of the tentative agenda.
Make that motion?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All aye. Would you read the minutes of the last regular meeting, please?
December 2nd, 2025. Chairman Rasmussen called the regular meeting of Wright County Board of Supervisors to order at 9 a.m. Members present were Cluse, Bosch, Rasmussen, Lukes, and Ellis. Motion by Cluse, second by Lukes to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carries. Minutes of the previous regular meeting of August 25th, 2025 were read and approved. Approved claims for payment. Motion by Cluse, second by Ellis to approve the payment of the registration fee for Tiffany Tolliver and Katie Schlichting for medical examiner conference plus mileage. Motion carries. Motion by Cluse, second by Lukes. Sent the motion for resolution 2025-23 from June 16, 2025. By roll call vote, ayes, Cluse, Bosch, Rasmussen, Lukes, and Ellis, nays none. Motion carries. Motion by Cluse, second by Ellis to approve resolution 2025-29. Approval of inclusion of certain real property in the 2025 Woolstock Urban Renewal Area of the City of Woolstock, Iowa. By roll call vote, ayes, Cluse, Bosch, Rasmussen, Lukes, and Ellis, nays none. Resolution 2025-29 duly passes and reads as follows. Adam Clemens, Wright County Engineer, gave an update on the Secondary Roads Department. Motion by Cluse, second by Ellis to adjourn the meeting. Motion carries.
Any additions or corrections? Not, they stand approved as read. Claims have been around. Open forum for the public. Jason,
Yes. So I got two promotions I wanna do. I want to promote Sheila Cordero to the jail administrator. Give her a $2,000 raise for that. And then Kristen Henniger, I'd like to make her the assistant jail administrator and also give her a $2,000 raise for it. Jeremy will be stepping down as jail administrator. Sheila's been doing it all the time, pretty much anyway. She's back there every day running the day-to-day operations, so I think it's a great fit for her to take it over and be the full-time administrator on it.
And it's within your budget,
I can make that work in my budget without having to do a budget amendment.
And then, and Jeremy, he has
He will lose that $2,000.
2,000 will come down and that'll go to Sheila. So it's really just.
It's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
The
Well,
only thing we're gonna
2,000.
have, well, the only thing we're gonna have to make up is the 2,000 to Kristen, but
Yeah.
my budget can handle it.
I'd make a motion to approve the presented promotions and salary adjustments.
I'll second.
all in favor? All ayes.
Then the lieutenant's position, Adams decided he wants to come back today, so he has stepped down as lieutenant and be promoted. Both Fiasco as the night shift supervisor.
But Adam, there, he's already a deputy sheriff, right?
He's lieutenant right now, but he'll go back to deputy position, deputy pay at the top scale.
Okay,
And then Tony will take the lieutenant's position and take over the lieutenant's pay.
okay.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second that.
And that's on both positions, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All ayes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, our monthly revenue report from the Wright County Sheriff's. County car service mileage, fees and mileage, $26.84 and 81 cents. County new and renew weapons permit, $260. Copy fees, 80. Total of $3,024.81.
Motion to receive.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Then we got number 8. Jerica Beecher. She's a Wright County Emergency Management to discuss relocation of the emergency management equipment.
You have to. Wait, did you tell them about like the shed and everything then?
I briefly,
Okay, so we're looking to build a shed to put all my trailers in and everything. Right now they all sit outside and have a bunch of wear and tear on them because of that. It would be on county property behind Jason's shed. I also store stuff in his shed that he would like out of there so he can have his shed back. So,
When you say behind, to the north, west? or-
it'd be to the south,
Straight south of the tower.
South of the tower. Right,
and there is enough room. I went down there with Opie. There is enough room for it to go in there. And we've got a bid of, I think, 79,000, but it's a steel structure, steel frame building, which is gonna take any snow load, hopefully any big winds. And that's with cement, everything, insulation, I do believe, in up top for, so you don't have the dripping of water all the time.
how big a building?
30 by 50,
Overhead doors?
yes.
One?
We haven't decided completely yet. There'll be at least one big one, if not 2. We're gonna try to go with 2 on one side.
And building oriented east-west or north-south?
It will
The
be,
roof line.
the roof line will run north-south.
So the opening would be to the south. Because
No,
it's,
the east.
roof line run east and west. Okay, roof line run east and west.
No, I run,
North and south, the doors will be east and west. They'll be facing the east.
How tall sidewalls?
is it,
four-
yeah. it was
14 or 15 feet, I believe, 16 feet.
14-foot doors.
Yes,
You said 16
So
foot
the
sidewalls?
doors will not be in the gabled ends of the building, right? They'll be in the sides?
No, my understanding is gonna be in the gable ends,
yeah,
because it's gonna be, you're gonna be parking deep instead of sideways, otherwise you'll need more doors.
Right,
yeah.
So the roof line is gonna run east and west.
okay, all right, that makes more sense. Good,
If she's got a gate or 2 that's in the clearing ambulance shed that you can't always get to. And to get that trailer needs to be inside, cause I've got trailers the same way as hers, sitting out, and it really deteriorates and all this stuff.
And the search and rescue truck is.
Yeah,
Jason's.
it's in Jason's and he wants it out.
so all of that will fit into this building,
Yeah.
and,
We have a trailer floating around too.
Yeah,
and how will we finance that?
I have the money in my budget for it.
Okay.
So what you filed online, are you gonna apply for any grants or anything to help supplement this?
I don't have any that I would know of right now that help supplement it.
So I pulled up your budget. And for fiscal year end June 30, 2026, you've budgeted that you're gonna have an ending fund balance of 58,000. And
Does that count my rollover? Cause when I asked for my rollover fund right now, I had like 215,000 in it, so.
I don't know what your rollover fund, cause if do you not account for it in your budget when you do your budget? And why is that?
I don't think so.
You would, I mean, that to me is, it should be in there. I don't know why you wouldn't have,
So I emailed Amanda when we had our conversation.
so currently, your current budget as of last week was 215,000.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's not rollover, that's your current budget as of today. But if you take your expenditures with your revenues coming in, you have it on the state website that you're gonna end up with 58,000, and that's without the dog, because you didn't budget for the dog,
Correct.
and the building's not in the budget. So that would be 70, that'd be 80,000, over 80,000, $85,000.
And I know like a lot of the line items don't get used every year. A lot of them are in there just in case like emergencies happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it would be fine, cause I never use the full amount that is budgeted.
Are you gonna ask for more dollars from the county?
I don't plan on it.
And are the cities willing to,
The city's already agreed on it. My commission agreed.
and are they willing to put more money towards emergency management?
Like in the future or like
Yeah,
just for this year?
well, if you run short on your budget.
I mean, we haven't had a meeting with the commission, but
I mean, cause the way I'm looking at this, cause you don't budget for your EMPG grant.
correct.
So your
So I have another
re-estimated is correct.
$20,000 coming in.
Yeah, so that brings that ending fund balance to 78,000. And so then. What other options did you look at besides putting up a building?
What is the other options?
But-
Yes, cause I mean, they all sit outside right now, so the only other option is to do nothing,
Mhm.
which
So
then you just have the wear and tear on the vehicles and the trailers.
there's no grants, so have you talked to secondary roads for any building space from secondary roads? Like,
I mean, I don't wanna keep using from everyone else is the
Mhm,
biggest thing.
mhm.
Cause I don't think that's fair, like right now I can't access my gator cause it's in Clarion's ambulance shed. And they have stuff they need to store too.
What's
And it's
it,
fine, you guys can say no to like where I wanna put it, but I think it's up to my commission, isn't it, whether I build it or not?
I would think so.
So the only thing that I'm here for today is if you guys want it on your property or not. And then my commission can go and decide if they wanna build it.
It makes sense to have it on our property, I think, yes.
That's the biggest thing today is if you guys are okay with it on your property, and then I think our commission goes and decides if we have the funds for it and if we wanna build it.
I haven't been down there to look at the location. Is there access around the tower to do what we need to do
Yes.
with the tower? Okay, all right.
Yeah, this basically, the Midas building would be to the,
West,
west of it.
yeah.
There's a big open lot right in that area.
And before we had the truck, when we were still using the trailer, we were using the secondary roads building, and it was a pain. I had to go get a key from Jason every time we wanted to get in, because they couldn't have a key for that. And they're gonna run into that too, when I resigned from search and rescue at the end of the year, I'm not gonna be on the sheriff's office anymore, so then they have to wait for a deputy to let them in to get the truck out, and if it's a county issue, there's not gonna be a deputy to let them in. That's the biggest concern that I have.
And
Yeah, cause that's an evidence room as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm the only one that can have a key.
And nobody should be in there
Yeah.
other than deputies.
So, will that require any kind of?
The biggest thing we need is we need the space to store vehicles if we impound them, like this weekend's situation, we got it in our shop or in our. Garage, so it's taking up space there. It'd be easy to put it in our building, lock it up, secure it, so that we can go back and do what we need to do later.
Right.
You know, sometimes when we impound cars, we're paying storage fees to Henniker's when we could be using our own building that was already bought, paid for.
Good.
That's the reason why I want my money on my building.
I'm good with it being on county land.
I am too.
You wanna make that into a motion?
Absolutely. I would make a motion that we approve, the Emergency Management Commission, building a 30 by 50 building on the county property known as the tower location, I guess.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
one nay. All right, tell us about your dog.
Hey, so she'll be a therapy dog for the county. So she goes through her academy in October. It'll be about a year before she's fully trained and certified. But essentially they want it for like, they want one in every county, so we're one of the first counties to have one. And they want it for first responders mainly, but like, let's say there's a house fire and then we go to the house fire, she also helps the family that just, lost everything. She just basically sits there and makes everyone happy. So,
Working for me.
it's doing great.
Put some smiles on the faces in here this morning, I know.
Don't need any training, it's
Sure.
already working.
Right.
She's done, yeah, I think she's chewing the hell out of your shoes.
Very good on the teeth, huh?
Yes, they.
Thank you, Jericho.
Yes.
Okay, receive and approve the filing for annual urban renewal report.
I'm wondering if we should put this, since Amanda's not here to explain it, we put it on, table it till next week? Or is there a time, is there a date that has to be done by? Or do you know it?
I do not know. I was not prepared to come home. She sent us all a text late last night that she was sick.
Yeah, I don't see any deadline or.
She's got it ready for filing with you guys' approval. I can say that.
This would be like the windmills and all the different TIF areas, right?
Right, so what it is it has your total TIF debt obligations, so how much TIF debt you have,
Yeah.
what's your current cash that you have on hand in the banks. Or not in the bank, in the county right now, in our fund balances, what was paid out, what came in revenues, and what the balance was left after that.
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you.
And then do they fall off of that when we pay off all the debt? Or that's a separate filing in order to
Yes,
do that?
once the debt's paid off, then you don't have to file this anymore.
So we've got the road out at Renutrients, we have the windmills, what else do we
For
have?
roads and then the Prestige
Preston.
for the agribusiness park, and I think. I can't remember what on the filing, what is left on the, I wanna think the land is almost paid off or one more payment on the land. Of the agribusiness park, but those are some of the questions I'd have to get, I'm not sure,
But did you see a filing deadline on it?
I did, no.
Okay,
We did say.
I would motion to, table for a briefing from the auditor.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
You wanna put it on for next Monday, Deb, please? Okay. Point
Nara
Nara
Allenstein.
Hollenstein is medical examiner, investigator per John Aaronson's email. Yeah,
I'll make a motion to appoint Nara Hallerstein as medical examiner.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Approved. Adam,
Quick update today, prior level blading, level 1 blading, and then trucks were year 1 gravel and top dress mining throughout with limestone. They completed that last week. We're still working on our year one gravel, that's moved to 73% or 76 out of 122 segments. The big updates here are the, Lost Quarry Bridge, the contractor moved back in last week and they're working on pulling everything out of the stream. And they've scheduled with their subcontractor for the bridge approaches for next week. So, we're hoping that that stays the course on that. Our guys, tore out a large box culvert last week on Ida Avenue, and replaced it with a, 114-inch tin whistle or aluminum culvert or round culvert, and that should be open today. They're just working on the 12 inches of modified sub base on the top. So, so they've done that, and then they're gonna switch. We have a couple of guys going down to the road superintendent conference this week. So, and then next week we're gonna do some patching, that concrete patch out at the lake, going on the lake blacktop. There's one down on C-70, and then there's some to the west too on C-70 that we're gonna take care of.
The patching that you talked about I had a landowner, concerned about the condition of C-54 after it was ground, and you had addressed
Yep.
that earlier. Are we already in the process? of doing
They've already
that?
done one patch.
Okay,
Then, I told Jeremy and Marcus, we're gonna go out today and take a look at, before they go to pave, if any more spots are starting to,
okay,
get soft on us.
okay.
They're slated to start tomorrow, most likely Wednesday. We noticed that their Highway 3 project, going towards Franklin County they're a little bit behind on that, so. I drove over there to Hampton on Friday night and noticed that they're, not as far along as they thought they were, so. They said maybe late tomorrow afternoon, maybe put down some hot mix, but, most likely will be Wednesday.
Yeah, and it looks like they'll have a good run of weather here.
Yes, definitely. It's, we're really wanting them to, cover up Hancock, they have that avenue first. Just because that is getting a lot of, traffic on it, and that seems to be the softer spots that we've been seeing. CBD4 doesn't seem to be a problem. They did, come to us last, I think, I wanna say Wednesday or something like that, or Tuesday, and did the widening on CBD4's,
Yeah.
69th East,
Mhm.
or CBD4 East on, they were gonna try to cover it up that same day. But they had some run-ins with the, vehicle enforcement agents.
There's a lot of traffic. that day.
Yes,
A
yep,
lot of
so,
traffic.
where they were hauling into our plant, they didn't realize that their weight changes, when they go from a primary route to a secondary route. So they had some education, and some tickets to pay, so, for some overweight. So, but they learned it, they learned about what was, the secondary roads or secondary routes or the weight table for that CDL, so. We helped out with that as much as we could,
There's a
so.
lot of people happy about that.
Yes, and they will be, I will be very happy when it gets done,
Yeah.
both those intersections,
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
of those
They
intersections.
Those are
were,
rough.
Yeah, I didn't
Yes.
realize
They
that
were-
they would be doing the east, it's a quarter mile north
Yeah,
or
yeah,
8
yeah.
mile north.
So that's not a part of this contract.
Well, it's
We,
not.
like I said before, we were waiting to see who the contractor was,
Okay,
had a separate contract drawn up for local funds,
yep,
and got a great price for that, compared to
Excellent.
other contractors, so.
nice.
So that was a waiting game on that one. So,
wow, I don't know how many people said something to me.
yeah, it's not as bumpy. I mean, it is bumpy right now because they milled it, but it will be great when they're done, when the runouts are both done, so.
Back to the Voss Quarry Bridge.
Yep.
Will it be done before harvest? Will it be open before harvest? It's so,
Technically, harvest has started.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question.
So,
For
the
a
big,
friend.
so when I had a discussion this morning with Marcus, when he said that the bridge approaches were next week, I then asked, hey, when are the guardrail? So when the guardrail can get done is when I can open the bridge. I can do seeding and fertilizing under traffic, but without that guardrail, we should not open the
No.
bridge. So, the bridge approaches won't take that long. They just need good weather to get them done, and then we gotta get the guardrail subcontractor in and get them moving. So,
Mhm.
we'll keep on top of him. I asked the question, he had not heard a schedule for that yet.
Okay.
So,
Keep asking the question.
I will, definitely. I'm wanting it done probably
Thank
more
you.
than the rest of you. So, that's the big thing is that we understand the timeline, the time crunch, and that it is a very heavily traveled road. It's, once the bridge goes under contract, it's their bridge.
Right.
It's their,
Understood.
I mean, I can only do so much by the specifications, and, if they come in, I can't, and we're just working, so.
I get that. I just would like to make sure that the guardrail people are aware that this is kind of the schedule we're looking at
Yes,
here.
I understand. I will keep on top of that, and Marcus understands that I will keep on top of that, so.
Okay.
Cause he probably gets annoyed by the questions that I ask daily, so.
How long is the paving gonna be? I mean,
Honestly, probably a couple weeks.
That's what I.
Once I mean, it's only 3 inches. My biggest thing is getting that first 1.5 inches down. It's just making sure that it's covered up. Cause we're gonna have a lot of correction in that first intermediate lift, what we call it. So it's intermediate and surface. We're seeing a lot of deflection on the outside from the hold in place that is under there. So that outside is gonna be thicker than what the center line would be, which is fine, it's great, but we keep a track, Marcus stays out there and checks yields. So we're understanding that we're going to be thick and the yield is gonna be higher than what we would normally like to see it. But if we correct that now, we shouldn't have an issue with the surface lift. The surface lift should be 100%. We may be 110, 120 on the intermediate, just because of the undulation in that road. But that's part of the reason also why we profile milled it, to make sure that we could get that, but we're seeing that soft spots on the outside, so.
Is that gonna cause a problem with the school this week? Superintendent, didn't you say there was a superintendent?
No, that's local. That's contract. Local guys, so like our bridge foreman, our shop foreman, and then our other 2 foremans are gonna go down to superintendent school. Down in Des Moines.
So Marcus doesn't.
Marcus doesn't go. No, that one, the conference we go to is in December, so they understand that getting everybody, but yeah, it's only, I think it's like 3 days. I think Dylan's going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tuesday through Thursday.
yeah, so,
Mm-hmm.
but should be in it too. And then they're going to, the bridge shed, is going to be starting night drives next week, but I'll give you an update on that too. For activity.
Super,
Thank you.
thank you.
Are they gaining on the Taylor Avenue Bridge at all?
They were going to, pour the stems, for the piling. They decided, made 2 different decisions 5 times last week. They were gonna pour on Thursday, and at 8:30 in the morning, they decided not to pour because they can't control the water. So they're trying to figure out a way to control the water in that coffer dam, by possibly pouring 3 stems, getting that, putting their sonotubes around it, putting dirt around the bottom of it, controlling the water away from those stems, and then pouring the 3 and then switching to the other 3, so. They're making headway. That's all I like to see with that contractor right now, so.
There's that much water coming.
There's a
up through the
sand
crack.
seam that they found, and actually, the last Wednesday, it shoved their coffer dam into the stems at the bottom, and they actually had to pull those coffer dam on the south end. You could see it, they tilted in, so there's a sand seam down there, they didn't have their, coffer dam deep enough, and it pushed on it, so yeah, so there's water infiltrating their, coffer dam by the minute. So,
Thank you.
I will keep you updated, definitely. And you can walk down there, but thank you.
Can we help you?
I bet he's here for.
Oh, I could be, sorry. Yeah, well, you're for the drainage?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that'll be just a minute.
Yeah.
Old business? Any new business? Update on meetings?
Economic development tomorrow morning, and then a Zoom, budget, meeting at 3:30 for building families on Tuesday.
And I will be out of town next Monday, and Dean will be heading up the meeting. Anything else before the board?
Motion to adjourn.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All ayes. We'll take a 5-minute recess before our drainage meeting.
Okay, you're up.
Okay, we'll be back in session as the drainage trustees.
Motion to approve the agenda for drainage trustee.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All ayes. Would you read the minutes from the previous meeting, please?
Last meeting was September 2nd, 2025. The Wright County Board of Supervisors met in regular session as trustees of the drainage districts with the following members present: Rick Rasmussen, Dean Cluse, Lynn Lukes, Ashley Bosch, and Betty Ellis. Also present were Courtney Morris, drainage administrator, and Amanda Meyer, auditor. Other interested parties were Robert Watts via Zoom. Motion by Rasmussen, seconded by Cluse to call the meeting to order. Motion carried. Motion by Lukes and seconded by Bosch to approve the tentative agenda. Motion carried. Minutes of the previous meeting on August 25th, 2025 were read and approved. There were no drainage claims for payment needing approval. There were no work orders needing approval. Morris presented the following 7 drainage invoices. First one for Joey Hara, brush and weed control for DD 219 for $2,000. Joe Hara for brush and weed control DD 32 for $1,950. Another Joey Hara for brush and weed control of DD 118-4 for $1,000. Another Joey Hara for brush and weed control of DD 12549-1 for $450. And another for Joe Hara for brush and weed control of DD 9 for $2,650. We had column for the Eagle Grove Eagle for the DD 62 public hearing notice publication of $68.40. And the last one was column for the Wright County Monitor for the DD 62 public hearing notice publication in the amount of $52.92. Motion by Clues and seconded by Bosch to adjourn the meeting. Motion carried.
Any additions or corrections? Not, they stand approved as read.
Your claims today do total $7,171.32. That is $1,000 short of what was presented as claim or invoices last week, because one of those was not we were not the control county, so that was sent to the control county for them to pay that one.
That's why those two figures don't match.
Yes.
Motion to approve, the drainage claims.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Open forum for public input regarding drainage districts. Any work orders?
We have one work order. This one Betty talked about last week at the meeting. This is for the Andrew denial. It was reported as at least 3 blowouts, but I think when you went out there, there was
Hopefully more than that.
substantially more than that. But this is the work. order for that.
And that's the one we're having them go out and take a look at.
Lee hasn't, did Lee ever get back?
I got an automatic response last week that he was out until today.
Okay,
So hopefully if he comes in today, we can talk to him about it since he didn't respond, so.
yeah.
Any drainage invoices?
Yes, we have 4 of them. The first one here is pending a response back from Ryan Mosdam on coordinates. I believe there's a number that's missing. But the rest of the invoice looks fine. It is for DD 10 main open ditch in section 35 of Norway Township. It was reported by Scott Anderson as a washout, and his total came in at $30,779.25.
And it was more than just a washout. I went out and looked at it, at another spot. There was probably an 18-inch or 24-inch tile that had dropped. And apparently it had dropped sometime after it was put in, because it washed out everything for probably 15 feet underneath of it. And then the whole tile literally dropped to where it washed out.
He gave coordinates for 5 different locations
Yeah,
that were repaired.
it was a mess out there.
So on those coordinates, which one of those was for that washout that you just explained on his invoice? Did he break out each spot then? I'm looking at the invoice and I was just,
I mean, some of it is broke out.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the dozer work broke out, excavator. And I don't see anything that's a general charge, so it looks like he does have it broke out by each location.
I was wondering, cause I had one like that where it washed out and then,
It dropped.
was it, yeah. And then the pipe dropped down into the, and yours was on a drainage ditch?
Mhm.
Yeah, I have one exactly like that. Did they have to haul dirt in or did they just borrow?
I
Dirt?
think he might have had to haul some in, but I almost think it's this bottom one. Cause it was a pretty big project, what it had to do to fix that. He had to get the tile out of there, then get it filled in and packed in and,
Are you talking about number 4 location?
yes.
Or 5?
5's on the second sheet.
Yeah, there's another.
Looks like they must have just borrowed the dirt from the location.
8-inch, 12, cause there's no 18, didn't you say it was an 18 inch?
I'm guessing, I'm not
Gotcha,
for
gotcha,
certain,
gotcha.
cause I wasn't gonna get down there and measure, cause it was 5 feet in the ground.
Oh darn,
Betty, are you referencing that one over by Dow? Is that like cave?
yes,
Okay.
yeah, and I was just trying to see what it is. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
when I-
There's where it is right
They
there.
do fix, but it's, oh, okay.
That's the one, the second one he showed me.
Dude, what is this something about?
Yeah, it would have,
Dirt coming in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would
And I
say
see there's no dirt.
Right,
No.
no. No.
And he had an excavator and a dozer out there, so I'm sure he just threw the dirt.
Cause
And that
Andrew,
was the.
yeah,
that's
Andrew
his brother.
hauled dirt in.
That's why I wouldn't get down
That-
there and
That's
measure
probably
it.
enough that they had to bring it in, cause, yeah.
Houses.
So I was just kind of curious as to what it was.
And not only was the original, so he found this after he got out there.
Yeah.
Cause originally there's something similar to this. And then it was also washing, from the field over the, grass waterway that was causing trouble. So he also dug a trench, cause the ground went like this, dug a trench both ways to keep it from coming over the waterway. So it went strictly to the tile instead of washing dirt over all the time.
Okay, the other 3 invoices, first one's for Nine Master, our drainage attorney, in the amount of $1,140. And this is for his communication and work with us on, the 111-3 petition that we had received. And we've got another one from Mozdam.
111-3 was that the annexation?
Yeah, that's the one with the Latham Brothers.
Okay.
Yep. The next one from Mozdam is for DD 219 in section 28 of Norway Township. That was reported by Donovan Baker as 2 washouts. And the invoice was for $9,687.18. And then the last one is from Agravia, which is the engineer on that project.
Yeah.
For the Lathams, or not Lathams, the other one, 46, yes, 4692, and the amount of $400, and they did state that that is for the rest of the charges for them.
Do we approve all these?
No.
That's for next week, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we'll be in recess till 10 o'clock on the public hearing on Drainage District 62 for repairs needed to open ditch.
Yeah, I need to make it bigger for you.
Oh, not that big, not that blind. This was an email from, Steve Kinkle that I forwarded to the other supervisors. Says Tim and I had a that would be Tim Whipple and Steve Kinkle, had a meeting with ISAC legal counsel today. ISAC will be submitting the amicus brief on behalf of the counties, which is great news. This is more powerful than just coming from a coalition of counties. They will contract with Allers and another outside firm to write the brief for $25,000 as stated and submitted by November 6th. They will pay the contract and bill participating counties, which will eliminate the need for the 28E agreement. Tim Whipple is drafting the cover letter that ISAC will mail out to all counties explaining the case and the potential impact on counties. They need approval from their board on how the billing process will work. If all participating counties will be billed equally or if they will be capping the amount per county. They will be getting back to me on when the mailing will take place. The ball is in their court since they are taking responsibility for paying for the brief and collecting the money. So that's the latest and greatest, which is good news because again, this Supreme Court case is not about the pipeline happening or not happening. It's about the pipeline and whether or not they have to comply with existing ordinances. And so it will have a big impact if the lower court's ruling is upheld. Come on in.
Hi, good. Hey, Deborah.
Yeah, and it is a nice, powerful thing that,
ISAC is doing it.
ISAC, the Iowa State Association of Counties, that means it's it's all 99 counties in the state of Iowa that is, supporting this, so.
And now we're going to recess?
Yes.
Very well.
10:05. Okay, we're back in session as drainage trustees. We'll do this is for the public hearing on Drainage District 62 for repairs needed to open ditch. We'll start with introductions. I'm Rick Rasmussen, Supervisor, Chairman.
Pink-
Go ahead. Ashley Bosch, Supervisor.
Pinkley, Supervisor.
Lynn Luke, Supervisor.
Betty Ellis, Supervisor.
Lee Gillen, five saddle driver, engineer.
Courtney Morris, Drainage Administrator.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, tell us who you are.
Oh, I'm Delmer Voss. And I go by Tom at Charles Thomas Gray. Thought you had me on the list anyway.
Janet Sue Gray.
Gary Fisher.
Thank you. Would you like to start this, Lee?
Sure, so we were contacted by the drainage, clerk. There were some concerns about the open ditch on DD 62, just with some damage, that has occurred. And I believe it was the secondary roads had a drone flight of it.
That's correct.
Yeah, so secondary roads did a drone flight, and then she had that footage that she provided to us, which is very helpful. You get a nice bird's eye view, plus it saves us going out and tromping and spending some time and money doing that. And they televised the entire open ditch from the start, all the way to the discharge into the Iowa River. And then we reviewed that, Courtney reviewed it, and she found 99% of the same stuff we saw.
Actually, in the Eagle Creek, I think it
Is
discharged.
it Eagle Creek?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, all right.
Is it Eagle or
Yeah.
is it White Pond?
South Eagle Creek.
It's the Eagle, that's what I was
Okay, then I
thinking, yeah.
definitely misquoted it. So what we ended up finding, there's about a dozen or so tile outlets that are damaged and broken and need repair. The reason you wanna do that is if you don't repair those, that tile as it gets damaged, will slowly work its way back into the bank. And then the bank just keeps moving and your soil keeps going downstream. And once that bank's destabilized, you can try to fix it and you can fix it with rock or other things, but it still just doesn't hold as well as the soil if you can keep it there. So there's about a dozen of those. There's about a half dozen spots that could need some surface drains. And for those not familiar with it, surface drains essentially are the tubes that they daylight on the backside or the field side of the open ditch, kind of behind the berm. And then they take the water down into the open ditch. That way you don't get ponding built up and that's behind that spoil bank. There's about a half dozen spots there that either there's an existing one that needs replaced, or you could use one there because there's been a decent amount of erosion down that bank.
How do you handle that? Because you try to do that with soil, you're gonna try and do that with rock.
So we will try to do that with soil. So what we do when we put in those surface drains is we put on what they call an anti-seep collar. So an anti-seep collar essentially, is, imagine a plate with the pipe going through it. So essentially this hooks onto the pipe, clamps down, so that if you got water going around the outside of that pipe, you can't just keep scouring all the way to the open ditch. It kind of acts as a dam and stops that water.
Is it that dam around the outside of the culvert or there?
Outside and it's buried. So it's in the bank itself. If you put those on there, you eliminate those little scours along the outside of the pipe. And then you eliminate a lot of that erosion. You don't have to put rock in there as much. There are some spots out there where, for instance, we may have some erosion on this bank and there's a tile or something on this bank that's discharging, that's shooting across and causing that. We may put some rock on those spots, or to get around the bends. Sometimes around bends are hard to do, because your water just wants to keep going straight and erodes. So there's about half a dozen surface drain spots. The larger problem is just general erosion on the bank. And there's some that have started all the way from up in the field, and there's some that are just on the side slope itself. There's about 40 spots out there that have general erosion. Most of them aren't too big. There are a few though that are getting pretty large, especially when you get down towards the outlet by the creek. There's some, then just general debris. There's about 5 spots with some debris down in there. Some of it looked like it may just be kind of some trash floating, and other of it looks like it was on the side bank. So it's always good to remove that general debris, get that out of there so it doesn't plug up a crossing or a road culvert.
Have any trees along there?
That was the next. So brush to prevent beaver activity. There was a little small brush that's mainly down by the outlet. And I know,
At what point is the outlet?
would be where it meets the creek.
And I think it's like the last, from the overhead, it looked to me like it's less than maybe the last quarter of a mile. I don't even know if it's
Yeah, it's
that far.
probably the last eighth of a mile has trees, and I didn't see anything big. It's mainly
Right.
12 foot or less. You know, it's kind of stuff that was on the creek that's just kind of spread its way up, let's say. You just want to remove that to prevent beaver activity. Not that they can't take trees off of the creek bank and bring them up. I mean, that may be a possibility, but it's just best to keep it out of there. The other debris is, I think there was an old bridge down at the lower end.
Yes. Yep.
Didn't look like it could be usable by much over a raccoon, truthfully. It didn't look very safe.
Is that gonna be removed?
I would recommend removing that, because sooner or later it's gonna come down and it'll just plug something.
Sooner the better.
Yeah, it's your drainage, you tell me, but I would agree. If it was my field, I'd want it out of there. So those are the issues we really found. Obviously, we haven't.
And past there is the brush that you got.
Yeah, it isn't very much, but you might as well get it as long as you're out of there. If the brush was the only issue you had on this open ditch, I'd say just spray it aggressively and don't worry about it. But as long as you're out there, you might as well take it.
Lisa can feel it or not.
Yeah, and those would be surface drains in them.
Like these.
So you can see that bridge is much.
Is that what you're talking about taking out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess that's.
It's not used anymore at all.
I don't know how it could be, and I don't know what it'd be used for other than livestock maybe, and even then it's too small.
My guess would be, that's close to the outlet, as I recall, right? Is
The
possibly when the guys are deer hunting the creek, they push that, and that may be a way to cross it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it hits me
Yeah.
as. It never was
Yeah.
meant for anything more than pedestrian.
Yeah. We'll have to get it from the road now.
Thank you very much.
So all told, those are what we saw. Obviously, you know, when you go out and walk it, you may see something additional. If you got construction equipment out there, sometimes they find stuff that's additional. I mean, when you got high vegetation, you're not gonna get everything 100% on the front end. So there may be some additional issues, but I don't anticipate finding a huge number of additional issues. I think the drone footage did a
What time did you fly it with, Joe? What part of the season?
June or July.
Yeah, it was this summer.
Yeah.
early summer. I mean, everything was nice and green, but
You
nothing
got a date on
was
it?
too high.
It doesn't have
It
to be on
doesn't.
the pictures, but I guess,
Didn't we go look at it?
Yeah, we did.
In Was that in June
I think.
or even before that?
Could have
I'm pretty sure we were done.
Could have been binder cut.
Trying to remember if everything was planned. I don't think everything was.
No,
planned.
I don't think.
Is that big enough?
Yeah.
So we might have gone in with.
Say crops, in the video, crops were not up.
Right, I
Right.
think it was probably May, it was early May that we
Yeah,
went
it
out
was,
and looked at.
it was pretty early.
Like May.
You can still flip it and see.
Yeah, cause I got the video,
Don't keep it the other way.
first part of June.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Down,
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah,
Cause we
so
discussed it and then we.
it would have been flown in May.
Yeah, late spring.
So back in history, was that ditch cleaned at one point in time?
I talked to Courtney about that. I said, hey, bigger concern is there silt out here? And you said that that ditch had been cleaned out not too long ago, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what you came back with Courtney was about 10 years.
Yes,
Yeah,
only 10 years ago.
so I would not anticipate that there's a large amount of silt in there after 10 years, you know. Most ditches don't silt in there.
From what I see on the road, I don't see a lot of silt in it.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but I don't know whether they're not in the field.
so that's what we found or what we saw. You know, to fix all those issues, we were thinking construction cost would be in that 80 to 100,000 range. That's kind of one of those interesting costs. It's a decent amount of money, but yet it's not so much. We had to have a formal engineer's report, you know. Code once upon a time used to be like, what was it, anything over 20,000 or something? You had to have a whole engineer's report and go through the whole formal process, and it's really cumbersome for that, for what you got out of it, so.
That you had suggested for the problem.
Bank slippage someplace that needs to be taken care of too.
Bank slippage, yeah, there is some,
There is some.
yeah.
Some sloughing.
Yeah, especially around the corners, you know, we kind of lump sloughing and erosion together, but there are some spots where it's just like a channel that's eroded down the bank, but there are other spots where, especially around the corner, the whole bank was kind of, yeah, sloughed off. Yeah, those would be spots where we think about the riprap,
Yeah.
because obviously you've got some moisture or something working underneath behind that soil that causes that whole thing to come down.
Almost grass.
That introduces a lot of moisture to those dens, yes, I would agree. Yeah. And I tell you what, there aren't near as many trappers as there used to be, so there's not much out there for predators.
Right.
Yeah,
Muskrats.
Oh,
muskrats, yeah.
when, we're having this meeting to, get you guys' opinion for, if we need an engineer's report. But Lee has stated that an engineer's report would be much more than what he has presented us with. Cause by code, we have to call a public hearing. And
If the estimate was gonna be over, I think it's $156,000 now, maybe it's one.
Something like that, yeah.
yeah,
Then it would require.
required, but if it's
the engineer's
over,
report.
but if it's over 50,
You have to have the hearing.
we have to have the hearing. And
So essentially,
we can
there's,
decide.
yeah, there's levels of, you know, if it's under 50 grand, the supervisors as trustees can just say, go do it.
Yeah.
If you're over 50 grand, the landowners need to know about it.
Mhm.
If it's over the 150, I think it is, then all of a sudden they're like, well, this is complex enough, you need an engineer to write a report about it. We're kind of in that middle range where landowners need to know, but you don't have to have a formal written engineer's report.
Good.
And I told these guys, it's gonna be the exact same thing that I just summarized in 10
Exactly.
minutes, so
Right.
truthfully, why pay me to do it? I got plenty of other work to do, I'm not that one with collecting
Do
money.
you work for the county or?
I am a private consultant that is hired by the drainage district to do this.
I see. Okay.
He's been with us quite a few years.
Oh, yeah.
Since I've been on 13 years.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I tell you, most of the stuff's small enough that the internal staff handles, but once in a while you just get big enough to get on a second opinion.
And where are you from?
I live in Webster City, but our office is in Akron, over by.
I think that repair, I believe, was made earlier. We had some problems down there and the county was nice enough to get some of the repairs already taken care of.
The chance is at $206,000 now.
Could be, could be. That number changes every year, and
And
so
also, I was curious, this was.
it went down, I
Far
thought.
around here, part of ours, I was wondering, is this copy, is that anything?
What picture are they?
Seems like it's like that all
Okay,
along,
yep,
rather
yep.
than just.
And I can look it up and I
So,
wonder
this comment
if
is
that's,
similar to
this is how the
what
spreadsheet came to me, so.
Yeah, you're probably
Okay,
right.
about this over here.
Like I said, DOT adjusts that every year, so it ain't like.
Okay, but that's something that might be, would be.
You do it for so many years and it was like, well.
Because if we stay at that 100,000, it'll save us from spending 50,000 to have an engineer out there all the time, right?
Well, and yeah, that's the other thing is, whether you have an engineer's report or not, it's up to you guys and the landowners, whether you want us out there watching the contractor do work, or whether you just want to take the contractor at their word, or whether you want to require them to submit some pictures.
Yeah, we do like them to submit pictures as it's going.
Yeah, I've done it every way. Some landowners are like, nope, I want somebody out there double checking everything. We're out there, we double check it. Others are like, nah, stop in, once or twice a day and that's enough. Others are like, no, this is simple. We're active. We can check on them. We can see what they're doing. So we can take that any way you want to. I mean, you're low enough, you officially don't have to go out for public bid, and advertise statewide, so I don't know. But you're high enough, I don't know if you wanna take maybe some competitive quotes from your local folks, or how you wanna proceed.
Competitive quote is required at $153,000. Competitive bids are required at $206,000.
Yeah, so I mean, you're not required to do either one of those, but sometimes it's just,
Makes sense.
it's a decent chunk of change, and sometimes you guys approach it different. I mean, most of the work like this is really truthfully how productive something can be. There isn't that many materials. It's more about how fast can they move and how much diesel do they burn.
How many people are in on this, area?
Landowners?
Yeah, members
I'm not
in
sure
there.
how many.
I think we counted 24 on the, we were curious how many were addressed, they were having received the
Oh,
letter.
sure.
Okay, so it's a
That's
smaller,
exact
so it's a
county
smaller
area.
district then.
Yeah. So yeah, if that's who the notice went to, that's probably roughly how many landowners there are, 24.
But the thing we ran into with that other one is it went over 50 and we didn't have a public hearing. That was the problem, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, and the other thing, I mean, just for future reference, I'm not an attorney, but it's my understanding that really the requirement for the public hearing is what you think it's gonna cost on the front end, as long as you do a good faith effort to get that cost. If you end up going a little bit over that, they can't go, oh, now you messed up.
Right.
It's what your true belief is on the front end.
Right.
And that open ditch is only 3.12 miles long, so not a very long ditch. compared to some of them that we've done.
The only thing is if you were going to do like a quote from maybe 2 or 3 different contractors, they have to bid a like item. And so
Yeah.
how do you just show them the
We would use-
video?
We would use Lee's report and the pictures. This is the evidence that we have. This is what you are bidding on,
Yeah,
or this is what you are
This is
quoting.
the project.
Excuse
This
me,
is the
yes.
project. This is-
Yes,
yeah, I mean, you could either do that internally, or you could have us draw up a simple quote package, it's your call. I don't think it's that tough, but Courtney, if she has time, certainly.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and this may be a silly question, so they quote us for this. And then they end up getting out there and they find additional things, how does that work? Do they just go ahead and fix them, or do they need approval from one of us, or do we call you and say, hey, can you go out and check this out, or how does?
Well, I've seen it done a number of ways, sometimes supervisors are like, nope, we wanna know everything going on, so if you got something that changes, you call us. Other times they're like, we don't wanna be bothered every day, so they give the drainage clerk authority to go like an extra 2,000, 4,000, with some dollar amount, and anything beyond that, you have to let us know. There's different ways to approach it. But I'm sure they will find something different than what the drone footage showed.
Right.
Because you just do, you know, hopefully it's not a 59 DeSoto buried in his pipe bank, but you know what I mean?
Could be though.
What have we done in the?
They're out there, they're out
Stuff
there.
like this.
Typically, we haven't had anything like this where we've brought in an engineer just to
Okay.
kind of review it. But it would be most likely just to tell the contractor, if you find something, you let us know before you proceed.
Somebody needs to know.
Gotcha.
And then if it's something that, you know, you feel the footage shows, and they're like saying, no, we need extra, cause we didn't want to repair this tile, even though the footage shows it, then you're gonna be like, hey, it should have been the original quote.
Mhm.
Now, there's a second one beside it, all of a sudden it's like, okay, that makes sense, you know, you'll have to make that decision somehow in there.
Gotcha.
Fortunately, we have some good contractors in Wright County that are,
You guys do.
they do.
Well, they all of them know what they're doing.
And you've got contractors that are used to doing open ditch work, a lot of counties don't have that, we have guys do tile work, and they're really good at that, but open ditch contractors are getting rarer and rarer to find anymore.
What do you guys think?
Here, see what you decided.
Initially, I was concerned, because of the state of the economy for farmers. However, it sounds like we're only talking probably, based on your estimate, maybe 2 to, well, I'm guessing, I'm kind of dividing 50,000 by 24 quick in my head, as I'm sure I'm wrong, but
Mhm.
somewhere between 2 to 5,000, maybe, per, you know.
That would be per parcel though, probably,
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna be based on acres instead, right, Dean?
It'll be based on
Classification.
classification, and that classification is based on your usage of the asset, essentially. The person who is closer to the, asset uses less, but usually they use it completely. The person who's furthest away uses the entire asset, and so, that's how the classifications are figured.
And do you know how many
The
acres?
classification was set the last time it was fully cleaned out, wasn't it?
I assume so. Do you know what the date of the classification was?
I can tell you the last time that it was cleaned out was the end of 2014.
Yeah, but I don't
I
think
don't
it-
have a record
It
of,
wasn't classified then. It
no,
was classified back when they,
Built it originally.
I think
they,
it was.
they scoped this, different angle, and
Okay.
that's what I remember that was classified.
Could be. So, I mean, the simple version is take the cost divided by the number of parcels or divided by the number of acres. In reality, some people are gonna pay less than that, some people pay more, because it's like Dean says, it's based off a benefit, that's the code term for it, is benefit. And that's how much better the district facility allows you to use your field or potentially use your field. So if you choose to pattern tile into it, that's fine. If you choose not to pattern tile into it, that's fine, but your field's still gonna pay the same assessment or benefit,
Correct.
because that's your choice. The district brought a better outlet closer to you, I guess would be the simple term. I mean, none of these repairs are the end of the world right now, but they sure won't get better on their own. You know, they're only gonna get more and you're gonna keep losing more soil.
Right. Which equates to it will get more expensive the
Yes,
longer we ignore
yes.
Yeah, yeah, and rates go up.
it. Yes, sir,
Yes.
absolutely.
Just for your information, and you don't know, this dish, when it was first done, I can't remember the date. It was done with a barge backwater.
Yep.
And they started at the top and went down and didn't follow the water.
Yep. I remember,
Really?
That's how it was done.
I remember my great grandpa, I mean, he was a World War I vet, and he had a buddy, and he came up from Illinois on one of those barges working in Webster County. There's a picture of him, and he's 14 or 16, all the way up on the very top, sitting there, you know, like long before OSHA, but I know what you mean, they used to float them and they pull all that stuff out.
And back then, they didn't even level off the berm.
They piled and
They
piled.
just piled them up and trees grew up in them.
Yeah, it was a different time, but it was better than what they had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would it cost if you were to make a, let's say, bid sheet on it,
Quote sheet.
or quote sheet?
I mean, I'm thinking,
ballpark, I'm not gonna hold
yeah,
you
I mean,
to
you're
it.
probably not 4 to 6 grand, it isn't gonna be huge.
Cause to me, if we're gonna take bids on it from our local people,
Take quotes on
or
it.
quotes on it from our local people, I'd like to have a sheet that they can at least go by.
Well, they would currently have Lee's report and the photographs, which is the same thing that Lee had in analyzing this. So Lee's point, I think, was that Courtney could produce that and we go to several different contractors and say, would you like to give us a quote on this? Here's what we're asking for.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference, and I don't know if it's different, is, we would probably like say, hey, there's this many locations of erosion you need to fix and you get paid per. Then that's kind of nice if you find an extra one.
Right.
You know what it is.
Right.
But Courtney can do that too. It's really your guys' call. I mean, it's more of a time thing, I would say truthfully.
Do you have a problem with that, Courtney?
She's very capable.
Do you have a number now of how many erosion places there are?
Yeah, about 40. is what I
About 40.
counted, Yeah.
Right now, we do not have a form that says this farm is gonna pay a certain percentage, this farm is gonna pay a certain percentage.
Yes,
We
ma'am,
have
we
the
do.
classification.
Yep.
You do have a
Yep.
classification?
Yep, so when the meeting is over, if you'd like to come upstairs, I can pull that up and I can show you what
Appreciate
your
that.
percent of benefit and all that is.
Oh, very good.
And what's interesting is classifications are based off of 40-acre parcels or less. So if you got 160, you're gonna have 4 different parcels and each one will pay a different percentage.
Right.
It isn't just based on, this landowner, it's based off of each 40. That's a code requirement too.
So I'm gonna go back to the issue that I had of concern, and I don't know if that's really a concern or not without knowing what the costs are that different people pay. But, I'm personally very concerned about the status of our local farmers. And that's not just for here, it's the whole state. And
Right.
right now, grain prices are low, we've got issues and so forth. And I know we always have that. It's a cyclical business. There's no question about it. But I wouldn't want this to be the straw that broke the camel's back for some of the farmers locally. And that's the reason why I believe it needs to be done. I'm in favor of doing it myself. I'm in favor of getting it done before all the prices go up for contractors, et cetera. But I also don't want to do it at a time when it could be the straw that breaks the camel's back for some of our producers. Because I'm hearing more from Federal Reserve an issue that there are a lot of problems with the financial status of many agricultural producers today. I don't know what it's like here locally.
No, but that is a point well taken. Depending on the classification, of course, and the total cost. Again, if you go upstairs, Courtney would be able to tell you what that is based on the estimated cost. But then we're allowed to spread, if we go over, help me out here. Is it, $500? If it's more than $500, we're able to allow the landowners to be able to spread that over, we can choose, I think, up to 15 years.
10, 15, or 20.
10, 15, or 20 years,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
pushes that out, for exactly that reason.
Right, okay.
And the other thing is, I mean, that's part of why we have this hearing here today.
Yeah.
So that, people can come here and voice that opinion, or if, have a producer say, you know what, it just ain't gonna work for me this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the supervisors acting as trustees are duty bound to make repairs as needed. So these are needed, it's just the real question is now, or are you gonna wait till a few more years when it gets worse and pay a little more, or, it's.
Right.
No, my preference would be, and I think, all of us would prefer to act now rather than to delay.
And even if you
But
spread it
taking
out,
into consideration those things that you mentioned, yes, sir.
even if you spread it out over 10, 15-year period, you can pay it off early if you want without any charges.
Right.
The other thing is, you may get quotes from your local contractors, they go, oh, that engineer, he's all wet, I'm really efficient, and it may be 60 grand, I don't know, I'm just telling you, if we went to bid letting based off other prices, I think it'd be 80 to 100.
How long do you think that this project would take to complete?
Well, when we go public bid letting, we always like to give a nice long window, so we give them, a full summer, essentially, and they can go out there and mess with it as they want, but if they got after it, I think they'd have it done in a month,
Mhm.
truthfully.
Would we have to wait until crops were out, I'm assuming?
No,
No.
so the way it works is the district would have an easement or right of way for whatever the width of the spoil bank is. And the district is not required to pay crop damage within that spoil bank. Since
Okay.
it's your right of way, some districts do, some districts don't, same with CRP, so you're not bound to protect that crop, it's always nice. The tough part is, a lot of these guys are also doing tiling in the spring and fall, so summer's when they really wanna get after it.
I think most of this just has filter strip on it.
A lot of it does,
Most of
not,
it
but
does.
not all of it.
Yeah, like this one
You're
that I'm
correct,
looking-
a lot of it does.
Yeah.
This one that I'm looking at right now does not have the filter
No.
strip.
And that's
But
helpful.
I think it's corn this year, so I'm guessing it's corn because it was being.
It looks like it was beans last year, yeah. But see, like this one has a good filter strip.
And filter strips are helpful, but still, I believe the landowner or producer will have to talk to NRCS, cause last I knew, they have the bird nesting season. And so if you get in there, I think before
August 15th is the end of the primary.
August 15th, those landowners need to get a variance from their local.
Correct.
NRCS office to make sure they're not gonna lose some benefits, but the district has the right to maintain it, cause the district's easement and right was there long before NRCS.
And that's usually 50 foot, right?
Yep, typically.
Yeah, typically.
So then this
50
would,
foot either side.
this would not be done this year then? It would be done next year?
No, I think that, the crops are gonna be coming out. I would think that a contractor would wanna get in there and
Get it
and
done.
get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I give a nice long window and.
You bet.
Was this, petitioned by a landowner? Have done, or was this?
There was a repair petition that generated all of this, yes, sir.
Mhm.
Who submitted it?
But I wanna think that it was, somebody filed for a repair, and then when Ashley, you guys went out and looked at it, it got to be way
We
bigger.
saw other things. and
Way
we
more.
asked For
Yeah.
drone footage.
Yeah,
It was not a landowner, but a guy that was farming the ground, right? Tenant, there we go. Yeah,
so, Courtney, do you have the work order there?
I don't.
Does the tenant have authority to ask for?
Anybody does.
Yeah, they actually have the authority to go out and if they see something on their own, authorize it if it's a repair.
Yeah.
Mike Coleman.
Yeah.
Was the one
That's
that
our land.
petitioned, yeah,
Okay.
Mike Coleman.
I
was
thought
the one
probably
that
was the
petitioned
case, but
for
I didn't know.
a repair and then that.
Cause we had some repairs made, because we had some issues with it, where the water was backing up in the
Right.
field, so.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
so, yeah.
so yeah, Dean and I went out and checked on it and we said we should have a drone fly just because.
I've seen secondary roads say, hey, we see something going on too, and they've turned in repairs, but they are officially. They don't own land, they've got easements for the roadway, but they still pay an assessment.
Yeah, right away.
Yeah, they sure do. And they pay for road crossings too on top of it, so.
So,
Well,
I
as
would,
a landowner, I don't have any problem with them doing these repairs.
okay. I guess I would move to have, a template draft of the findings and send it out to, the contractors here in Wright County and local. Because the quotes, yeah.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm not gonna say Wright County because Webster City has some good contractors too. And that's kind of that area, which is nice.
Yeah, you know your pool that you're used to using,
Yeah,
and you know the results you get from.
and you got, what is it, Peterson? is
Yeah,
in
where are they from?
Are they Humboldt or
Where's
no?
Peterson?
Oh,
Peterson.
Scott.
They-
Oh, Patterson, yeah,
Patterson.
cause there's also
Peterson's
does the
Webster
long-
City, I think, isn't it?
Well, Ingram's down there, but there's also Peterson on Dakota City or something that's doing some long stick work years ago. I don't know if it
Okay.
still is, but.
Yeah, we've got a few of them in the surrounding counties.
Yeah,
too.
it's nice. Like I said, you get over like in Hardin, it's, nobody does long stick work unless they rent one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a sure sign they're not used to doing it every day, you know?
Isn't there somebody at Badger too?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Scott Pedersen. It used to be, well, Nels Pedersen and
Nelson,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's what, third generation?
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Meyer does it.
And Brandon Myers close, like right up the road.
Question. Do people usually work with complaints in order to figure out that there's a problem out there, or do you regularly walk ditches and things like that?
No, we
We do
more,
not regularly walk ditches.
You do not.
We do not. But
You don't need the exercise.
But we do get, tenants and landowners that come in and say, I have this issue, and then we go out and look and a lot of times, when Ashley and I went out and looked at this, we looked at the initial and we drove further down and saw, hey, there's more to this. And, that's when Ashley said, I think that we need to get the drone footage phone and then have somebody look at that to get an estimate.
And we're very fortunate, our secondary roads, has the drone, and so, and then I feel they're very reasonable at
Very
flying, at flying each of the ditches for us if we have a question. And then you have, actual
they're
photos of,
Yeah.
of what it is. And then I believe they'll go out after the work's all done and fly it again. I think, did he do that here
Mhm.
for clearance?
And then it's
So,
online too for
Yeah.
anybody to look at.
And that's what my next question, okay, so we can get that website from you then.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was very nice doing the drone.
yeah,
I mean, not that we won't walk them, we've walked them forever, but it's just nice, cause you got that visual from above.
Absolutely.
Versus me standing at one bank, taking a picture of the other one, going, trust me, there's a road here.
well, and the drone footage just started maybe 3 years ago,
Yeah, but it's nice.
but it's helped out immensely.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me again your,
my
Motion.
motion
Yes,
is to, approve having a quote sheet drafted and sent out to contractors. And then, and try to put it on a fast path, is that, if at all possible, so that we can.
Get
get
this
this done.
done.
Hopefully this fall, it'd
Right,
be really nice.
So they got plenty of fall to do that work. And also, you might wanna make a note that there may be more than what they're seeing. Just so they have a heads up.
yeah, I think most of them are aware of that. In your motion, that is not to have CGA do it, but
Just
to
do
have
it
Courtney
here.
do it.
Yeah, cause
Okay.
there's comments on each one of the photos, if
You
you
bet.
look
Right.
at it.
Yep,
And if she can just go ahead and tally
got it.
each comment, cause I think you commented it in green.
Yes, yeah, I
And
went
so-
through some red, yeah.
And she can just, tally or even get a bid sheet from maybe another project and then line it up like that. And go, and then if there's additional on top of what was listed. Then
They would need
the
to let us
landowner can do what do we call that? Not a work order, but a change order. They can do a change order.
Well, at least it gives you an idea that, hey, the slough was 1,500. You want 2,000 for this one, okay, maybe it's justified. You want 5,000 for this one, probably not. Right, you know,
Right,
not that somebody do that, but you know,
right, right.
so, sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's good.
I'll second your motion.
I
Did you
might,
have a
I have a question.
I might comment on your contractors. I'm in favor of having this done and done as soon as possible. But when it comes to contractors, I'm not in favor of taking the lowest bid.
Mhm.
I'm in favor of a person that gets in there and gets it done and done right. A lot of these culverts probably wouldn't need replacing if it would have done right 14 years ago.
Mhm.
So that's the only concern I've got. Make sure that you've got a contractor that can get it done in X number of days, weather permitting.
Mhm.
And some of them will start a job and away they go
Mhm.
somewhere else.
You're right.
And I'm
Is,
very particular. And
I'll be watching this project all through this fall.
Mm-hmm,
I'll be driving my ATV up and down that ditch,
good.
and I'm going to be aware of what's going on.
Mhm.
That's just the way I am. I understand drainage. And I want that job done right, or else don't do it at all. That's the only concern I got. I'm 100% in favor of it. The sooner you get it done, the better. Okay?
Mhm.
That brings up a point. Do we as landowners have authority to take our ATV up the ditch?
Oh, yeah.
On your own property, but
Yeah,
I'm talking about,
no, sir. You'd have to get the permission of the landowner. Yes, sir.
okay,
Yeah,
because,
we have that right as trustees. We have the right to enter property without the landowner's permission
yeah,
to look specifically at, the drainage issue. But the general public, you would have to get the permission of the landowner that you were gonna go
I
on.
thought maybe that'd be the case.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's just for district purposes, so I could go up there if I'm doing district purposes. Come
Right.
fall, I can't go up there and just hunt,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh,
So even the same person, depending on what the reason is, may not be able to go up there. I mean, you can't go up there and go hunting this fall.
yeah, I don't get to carry a gun when I go look at drainage.
Are you hungry?
Yes, sir, it'd be nice to in the fall.
Yeah, but you see what I mean, so really it's the purpose.
There's no
driven.
birds out there anyway.
I got two options then. I can get permission from the landlord, or I can take my own drone out there and fly it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion on the table
And a second.
and a second. Any more discussion?
I do have one thing. If we, sorry, if we get these quotes, do we decide or can we ask them
We decide.
We decide.
We
as
decide.
trustees? Okay,
Yep. We decide.
because we've heard their,
Yes.
Any more discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all ayes.
And I'll consider this one, from my point of view, closed unless if something pops up, reach out.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'll say we're not.
thank you for your.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
anytime.
reviewing that. I would make, did you have any other business, Mr. Chairman?
No,
I would make a motion to adjourn as drainage trustees.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
All ayes.